Welcome, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Gabriel Iglesias. Today with me is Steve Buscemi. How you doing today?
Ah!
What kind of response was that? Did you just panic?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, welcome, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is, in fact, Andrew Valentin, and I'm going... Now it is, well, it's Andrew Fluffy Valentin. I'm going to be your host for the evening, as always. But with me, of course, is the man who still can't color coordinate himself, but is wearing the shirt that he promised to wear. You've got green, you've got red, you've got blue and yellow. Your pants.
This is not green.
What is it?
They're white.
Oh, maybe I can't see because of my shades. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's Tom McKinney. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, how you doing today, man?
I got to stay in the clown movement.
Yes, you do. You feeling happy now that you're wearing your gear?
I'm super excited. What a clown.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, obviously this week has been draft week. We discussed the preview of it, on Wednesday. So today it's the start of the review. So Tom, you ready to get into this, man?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get it started, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing we're going to do to kick this thing off, the NHL draft, currently happening as of right now, but last night was the first round, and man, oh man.
For everybody out there, they're in the 5th round right now.
Yes,
they started at noon, and there's 7 rounds.
So they're pouring through the draft right now. Everybody's taking the man who they obviously want. There's been some moves here and there that have been made. Yeah, exactly. But there's been a lot that's happened, but we're going to pour into this one now, kick it off. Obviously, the first round happened, and the draft is still going on. But, Tom, I'll hit it with you first. The first thing I want to ask is, who do you feel thus far has been the winner of the NHL draft, you have to say?
The Devils?
Explain, please.
Well, yeah, they got Jack Hughes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then today you wake up, and all of a sudden, my phone at least is blown up from every known source and saying P.K. Subban is now a Devil. I'm like, what?
Yes, star defenseman for the Nashville Predators.
Fine by me. I only have to see him twice a season now. Thank God.
P.K. Subban is now going to the New Jersey Devils. He went for 2 player prospects along with 2 second-round picks, this year's second-round pick and next year's second-round pick for the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils now have pretty much – looks like they're stacking it up, getting ready for potentially what could be a fast rebuild for themselves. I mean, obviously –
they weren't really in a rebuild. Yeah, remember they were a playoff team last year.
Let's say we'll go retool. Let's say that.
Yeah, retool. Because they were a playoff team, not this past year, but the year before that in 2017 or 2018.
Right.
2017-18 season. They were a playoff team.
Right.
This year they just happened not to be a playoff team. So they were missing a few pieces. Now they got Jack Hughes. They got P.K. Subban. They got John Hayden, which we'll get into in a few minutes.
Right.
So, yeah, I definitely think the Devils are a big winner this year.
Yeah.
The Rangers can be one, too. They got Trouba a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
They just drafted at 130 Levi Alatian from Mikkel, Finland. This guy's got 2 E's in his first name, and his last name starts with 2 A's. And
you can't be surprised by that. He's from Finland.
I understand it, but the town he's from has 2 K's in the middle.
Well, what do you expect?
So that's why they all name him. Everybody in that town has 2 letters of the same letter. But they also got Capo Caco.
It drives me crazy. You can't get that name right.
Shut up. I'll get it right eventually.
I'm giving you the information. You have to do something with it eventually.
I have to physically hear it about 3 or 4 times.
I'm telling you, I've heard it from Finland. They say capo.
I understand it, but I have to hear how, like...
the announcers say it.
Yeah, the announcers say it.
I get you.
That. That's how it was with Tuvo Teravainen. I struggled with that Teravainen for the longest time, and I struggled with Tuvo. And by the way, it's not Hjalmarsson, it's Hjalmarsson.
Yeah, I know that.
Right,
I don't call him Hjalmarsson. I call him Hjalmarsson now because of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, yeah, the Devils, like you said, certainly got a good one. The New York Rangers, definitely, it's a win in the draft because, look, Capo
They were
Caco
literally the Pistons back in the day this year with Rodman. Was it Rodman or?
What do you think?
Yeah, it was. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It was either they take whoever the opposite player of whoever the Devils
Yeah,
did
it's
take.
a win-win situation either way. And they got a great goal scorer. I mean, we poured on him on Wednesday. We talked about the greatness of these two guys.
I had that jersey. I wasn't kidding when I said it earlier.
I know, you told me.
I literally had that jersey. I was on the Rangers website. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
The other
decided
winners,
not to.
I would say, although I think it certainly felt like there was a mixed emotion on it, it came from the Montreal Canadiens. I'm seeing people say win, but I'm also seeing people saying
It's always a loss with them.
I'm seeing a win for Montreal because they got Cole Caulfield, who was one of the top scorers.
Yes, in that sense, that was a steal.
Yes.
I don't know why he dropped that low.
But there's also people saying that it's a loss for Cole Caulfield because obviously he's going to a team, the Montreal Canadiens, that, yes, unfortunately that team now is in, I can't even say it's a rebuild.
It's not only that they're as Kevin keeps yelling, trash organization. It's the fact that it's Montreal. You do not want to play. If you're not used to the media presence, you do not want to play in Montreal or Toronto. Those are the two worst media markets out there. The media literally picks each player apart. Hence why a lot of players will leave Toronto and Montreal and have better careers elsewhere than they do in those two cities.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I can understand why the media gets to that point because there's certainly, look, Montreal and Toronto, for those that don't know, the passion for them in hockey, I mean, they want to see those teams certainly become winners. And so for the media, they get on these players a lot, and it becomes too much sometimes for a lot of these guys, hence why a lot of them leave and decide they come here to America. So, I mean, it is what it is, but it's definitely going to be tough for Cole Caulfield going there when, like I said, it's not even a rebuilding.
I can't believe he fell.
It's just, yeah, it's incredible to see how much he dropped down. I mean, I did see people were saying that there was concern on him in terms of, you know, maybe it was the big fish, small pond situation. But with the way that he was able to make moves and find ways to set himself up to be able to score, I mean, it's tough to pass on that. I don't know. I mean, for other ones I've seen too, obviously Vasily Budkovlin.
Goes to the hometown team in not his hometown team, but
Yes.
the team where the draft is this year, and that being Vancouver. But he fell. He fell.
Yeah.
He was projected to be the 3rd overall pick by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes.
But
And then he was projected to go 6th, and then he went 10th, and that's significant.
Well, see, I had not seen anything higher than 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everything I had seen leading up to Friday's start was that he was probably going to go 9th. So him going 10th, maybe a little disappointing. Signing bonuses a few hundred.
I mean, he's certainly a good player, but you got to wonder too, like, how did he, like, what happened that made him fall so far down?
It's his point production.
Yeah. Well, I had heard that, and also too, there was a lot of people saying, well, the need for him doesn't feel as strong, whereas a lot of people were looking at saying.
He's
17. Well, yeah,
he's 17,
he's
and
also young.
that's where a lot of people are scared about is that he's 17 and they don't know if he's ready to play yet.
Right.
I will say this: like I said, I think the Devils obviously won, but I don't think Jack Hughes is ready to play in the NHL.
Right.
I truly believe the Capo Caco is ready to play.
Yeah.
I think he will instantly be in the organization to start and play with the Rangers from day one.
Yeah, no, they're definitely and the Rangers are in more desperate need for that kind of production too. I don't feel like the Devils certainly could put him in there as the starter, as the number 1 overall pick, but it doesn't feel like the Devils necessarily need to push that if that comes to it. Some other winners, I'll say, I think Colorado Avalanche certainly had a win with it, having 2 first-round picks. You also had the Los Angeles Kings, who were able to come out with the guy who a lot of people were hoping the Blackhawks would take, which was Alex Turcotte. I know you weren't, but they took him at number 5, and then they were also able to get Tobias as Bjornfot at 22. So they've got some good players. You also got the Buffalo Sabres, who were able to get Dylan Cozens, your guy that you wanted at number 7, and the Anaheim Ducks were able to take Trevor Zegras, which also says something too, because the USA development team had like 8 picks or something like that.
I'm going right now.
Yeah.
They just popped it up. The notable ones. That's not even all of them.
Yeah, there's so many
but
more.
Of the notable ones, through about 5.5, or they're halfway through the 5th round, just about. Even like just feels like they just started it.
Yeah.
They there's 13 USA development players.
Wow, yeah.
Drafted already. So
That's got to be that has to be at the record
Well,
almost.
and here's the crazy part: is people are like, "Oh, it's a Canadian sport." It's actually switching. It's becoming an American sport because you're seeing a lot more Americans.
It's still an American sport, but it's dominated now primarily by young American players because the sport is starting.
Suck it, Canada.
You just don't want them to like you.
Where are all the NHL organizations winning their Stanley Cup? What country?
We love you, Canada.
The USA.
We still love you, Canada. We have to keep some kind of relationship with them. No matter how much you stare at me.
Boo. You'll never win another Stanley Cup ever again.
No, but it's incredible to see. I mean, we have Jack Hayes, Alex Turcotte, Cousins, Zegras. I'm blanking on a few names I know here.
Alex
Vlasic, yes. I mean, you have a number of kids from the USA developmental team that have been drafted now, and the talent is incredible. I mean, these are the future stars, potential stars of the NHL, and I mean, it just goes to show that Team USA is going to be strong probably for the next couple of years up and coming. I mean, they've already got a pretty stacked lineup, but these young guys, they just say, hey, when they get to the actual national team, they're going to be a powerhouse. So, but outside of that, I mean, Tom, what were the big losers of the draft? I mean, what would you say? Outside of the one that obviously we're going to get to here pretty soon. Don't you worry about that.
Big losers.
Any particular pop into your head all right off the bat?
I would have to say that it's just hard to say because you don't really know until you see these guys play.
Yeah.
If they've lost the draft, it's just tough to say. Like, it's not like any other sport where you can say, "Oh, this team's a loser. This team's a loser."
Right.
In the sense of like the Phoenix Suns and stuff like that, where people are saying they didn't do well, because a lot of these guys you're not going to see for 3-4 years. Yeah,
no, that's going to be it'll be tough. I will say, I think some of the teams that I feel, I mean, this is no brainer, but the Arizona Coyotes, I didn't feel like they did a really good job with this. So their draft pick was Victor Soderstrom at number 11. Which is a little strange because they traded up to that pick, apparently. They gave up 14 and 45 for the pick, which actually, from what I saw from all the rankings, Soderstrom, I think, was not even going to go until maybe like the bottom 20, I think it was, or the 30 maybe. He might have even been a second-round pick, so they might have even been able to get him at a second round. So it just feels like you trade. It's one of those things where we see it. It's NBA, NFL, a lot of teams do it. You trade up to get a guy that you probably could have got later in the draft. So
yeah,
like I'm sure you would say, and I've heard a lot of people say, that just kind of speaks to Arizona's franchise at this point. It's a little, it's muddled. It's messy. Not really sure the direction they're trying to take the organization. At this point now, they're kind of just hoping on a prayer that they can somehow get some player to want to come to Arizona to actually revitalize the franchise. So, but who knows? I mean, maybe Soderstrom can be the franchise player. I don't know, but it seems like a lot to give up for a guy that you probably could have got later in the draft, maybe even traded back for and got more picks. Another team I would point out too, I would say, is also the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, they're just dumb.
I know you're not a fan of them, but the Penguins took Samuel Poilin at number 21, which for me, I mean, I don't know how you feel on Pittsburgh. I mean, it just feels like they need more depth, and a lot of people were saying they should probably trade back the pick and get more draft picks to acquire more prospects in the later rounds. But again, it's tough because, a lot of teams, you covet those first-round picks. You don't want to give it up.
Yeah, and that's why you don't see a lot of trades in the first round for first-round draft picks.
Yeah, but that was one of the big things I was hearing from the people coming out of Pittsburgh was the Penguins should trade back, get a lower first-round pick, acquire another second or like fourth or fifth-round pick. And, to take a guy like Poilin, who was maybe projected to go somewhere in the high second round, okay, it's understandable, but I don't know. Those are the two teams that kind of stuck out to me, at least in the first round of the draft, that I felt like kind of lost out on an opportunity. But no, other than that, I mean, most of these teams, they took the guys that they wanted. They kind of stuck with it. I mean, props to a lot of them. This is going to be a very interesting NHL now because a lot of these players look like high caliber superstars
Yeah.
for the future. So
Yeah, I mean, hockey's one of those growing sports where, in the sense that these players are going to take time to grow.
yeah,
It's not like they can just go out and be players right away. Like I said, I don't think Jack Hughes is NHL ready.
right.
I think he should play half the season in the AHL and then go up.
Yeah.
But obviously, being the number 1 draft pick, you better be NHL ready. So prove me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Prove to us, Jack Hughes, that you can play because I'm going to be watching more Devils games. I'm going to be watching you.
No,
I'm going to let you know. I will. I'm going to be watching
really
you. I'll let you
won't.
know on Twitter. You know?
Sorry.
I'll make sure. All right. Well, before we get to a commercial break, obviously we have to talk about the Blackhawks because we have somebody here who kind of feels that the Blackhawks may have done wrong on here because the Blackhawks at number 3 overall took Kirby Dach at number 3, center from Saskatoon. Tom, bite your tongue as hard as you can and may. You have to tell us what were your thoughts on the Blackhawks draft pick.
He's a clown. He's just a clown. Like,
And why is that?
he just is. I don't get where you went with this pick. Why would you go and draft that center? Everybody's like, draft a defenseman. I was like, you don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. Draft if you're gonna draft a defenseman, draft one later.
Yeah.
You drafted a defenseman in the last 3 drafts in your
Right.
first round. You've had a defenseman drafted, so go later. And they're gonna go early. They went with the center. I think they went with the wrong center. Real quick, Owen Lindemark was just drafted by the Florida Panthers. He's a
nice.
local boy from Naperville.
Nice. Congratulations, Lindmark.
At pick 137.
Nice.
So, but they should have gone a different route. I would have been fine with Cozens. I would have been fine with Turcotte, even though Turcotte.
You have the concerns with the injury.
Yeah, it's
and
the injury, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, he's the next Derrick Rose of hockey for Chicago." I'm
Yeah.
like, Derrick Rose, look what happened to him. He got hurt. Now, obviously, injuries are fluke. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just scary to think if he's injury prone on a sport where you need that physicality and those leg muscles, and you just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we had, unfortunately on Wednesday, we never were able to get to Kirby Dach, even though he was ranked by a lot of people as the 4th or the 5th player out there in the NHL draft. So, we weren't able to really do a deep dive on him on the show like we would have. But, there was a lot of people that were saying Byram should have been the 4th or the 3rd overall pick. But as much as you want to complain about that, like Tom had said on Wednesday, we're stacked with defenders. We've been drafting defenders a lot.
And we drafted
lately.
one in the second round,
Right.
And Alex Vlasic, who is Mark Eduardo Vlasic.
There you go.
Cousin.
Yes.
They also, right before that pick was announced, traded John Hayden. He's a clown. You're just a clown. For John Quinville, who his 2 brothers were drafted. Was drafted by the New Jersey Devils 2 years ago, I believe. He is Johnny Boychuk is his uncle by marriage, and he is the first cousin of Joe Quinville, which I don't understand the whole first, second, third cousin.
Yeah, I don't ask me on that. By that side, I can say you're not happy, correct?
No, not at all.
That's all right. Kirby Dach. I almost called him Derby Cock.
Fine with me?
Kirby Dach, honestly, I mean, look, did I think he was probably going to go top 5? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rankings had him there. I watched him play. I liked his highlight tape. I liked the way his skill set. He's certainly a very big center. I mean, he like you've said, he's kind of compared to like a Ryan Getzlaf in a sense.
It's Getzlaf.
Getzlaf, excuse me. Look, you can't
see what I have to deal with.
You can't get K-Pop's name right. I can't get Getzlaf's name right.
Ryan Getzlaf's been in the league for like a million years.
Whatever. Point is that look, he's been compared to a player like him, and the size and the skills I think are definitely there, and I think it could be a good thing for the Blackhawks in the long run. But it's a time will tell type of situation. It's hard to look past the fact that you could have got a kid like Turcotte, even though you would have had to wait for him, and you also have the injury and stuff. But he's a young, talented prospect who showed a lot. And then you also have a guy like Cousins who has that tough mentality that kind of likes to stride through and can power through and put the puck in the net. So it's tough to overlook the fact that you could have got possibly 2 better prospects for a guy that a lot of people said, well, he's up there, but there's also a lot of question marks around him because given his size and stuff.
He's not a shooter. He's pass first.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of an upside because if you put him with second line, you can throw him with like Kane, and Kane can get his numbers up.
Right.
That helps. But at the same time, it doesn't look right.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age now in the NHL, I mean, I don't know if you agree with me, but it just feels, especially in sports in general, it's a very heavy offensive feel, and there's a lot of goal scoring that come. I mean,
defense is big.
Well, I mean, the defense is big too, but I mean, it just feels like
defense wins championships. You remember that, Andrew?
It does. Don't get me wrong. I played defense. I get it, but
I never did.
I know you were a wide receiver.
I was like this. I was not like. Oh no, I was like a twig. I would have been snapped in half.
Yeah, but this is the league is now a very offensive. It has a very heavy offensive feel to it. Goals want to be scored. People want to have the right guys to make the passes, and this could be the guy. Who knows? I mean, if he's feeding Patrick Kane and Patrick Kane ends up getting like 70
million goals,
yeah, or something like that. Hey,
if he gets
cool.
a million goals, then we've already won the Stanley Cup, right?
I think so. I mean, he's certainly winning.
The Art Ross. He's
yes.
winning the Hart. He's winning the Ted Lindsay.
He's winning
everything. Just give him the Vezina. Give him the Jack Adams.
Yeah. So there is promise to it. There's definitely promise to it. But the other thing too is that there's also a question if he is NHL ready, because there's people that say he'll spend another year in the WHL playing before he comes over. Obviously, you want to get somebody in there who's more, I think, ready ahead of time. But, again, time will tell. Who knows? Maybe he'll come up at some point in the middle of the season. Maybe he'll be there for the start. Maybe he'll be just that good. I don't know. But, well, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, Tom, you're not a fan of the pick. I mean, I will hold judgment until I actually see him play in the NHL and see if he can actually handle himself.
Which will be like 4 years from now.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. But, the Blackhawks with the 3rd overall pick. Kirby Doc. What were the rest of the draft picks, if you have them?
I thought I had them quicker than this.
Okay, that's
I got
all
you.
right.
I got you. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, you said that they had taken Vlasic, correct?
Yeah, and Alex Vlasic,
Yes.
who is cousin to Mark Edward Vlasic of the
Right.
San Jose Sharks.
Defenseman.
He's a big defenseman. I like that pick. I think it's going to work out just fine. It just depends on if and when he comes up, if it'll be this year, if it
Right.
won't be. So far they've taken 2 centers, a defenseman, and a left wing. They took Kirby Doc, 3rd overall, with the 12th pick in the 2nd round. 43rd overall, they took Alex Vlasic, the defenseman, with the 12th pick in the 4th round. They took Michael Teppel, left wing, and with the 30th pick in the 4th round, they took Antti Sarella, and then they have the 12th pick in the 6th round and the 8th pick in the 7th round. So they have 2 more picks. They don't have a pick in the 5th round unless they make a trade, but they're usually not known to trade later. They're fine with whatever picks they have.
Yeah, they're kind of like their later draft picks, so they kind of.
So they'll end up drafting in the 6th and the 7th. They'll be almost feel like back to back, which they will.
Yeah.
And as soon as they make their last pick, that's when I'll turn it off and decide what I want to do next.
So what comes next after this is all over, Tom?
Me getting food and probably some sleep. I'm really tired right now. I don't know why.
You're tired.
I'm exhausted, dude.
Well, we just did a radio show, which, by the way, I want to say thank you to the boys of putting up points.
Trash! Trash!
Jake Bradley and, of course, Tyler Prickett.
Back there?
Yeah, he's back there.
I don't
think.
see him. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you just can't see him in the dark. Yes, Jake Bradley, ladies and gentlemen, our producer. Make sure to go give him some love. We were on their radio show putting up
Throw
points
trash on him.
on sportstownchicago.com. We had a blast with those guys.
Did you put my draft thing up there yet? Because I won, right? Come on, you have time. Do it.
Put it up yet. Yeah, I have to do it because I have the access to the.
Why haven't you
Twitter
given them
account.
the Twitter account yet?
I forgot. I mean, we had to get this stuff prepped. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but when we do come back, we'll be reviewing the 2019 NBA draft and what all the craziness was about in that one. So don't go anywhere because we'll be right back here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.
The Chicagoland area has a large number of lonely dogs currently filling shelter pens, just waiting to find a family. Nothing adds warmth to a home like a wagging tail and a warm pair of brown eyes. If you are considering adding a dog to your household, visit the Anderson Animal Shelter, where adoption counselors can assist you in selecting your new best friend. Make your house a home. Adopt a shelter dog. To see a current list of adoptees, visit their website at www.andersonanimalshelter.org or meet them in person at 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin. Don't have room in the home for a new furry family member? Donations of toys, collars, and soft or hard non-perishable dog food are always accepted and are greatly appreciated. All animals are spayed or neutered and are waiting with tails wagging to find a loving home. Visit 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin or www.andersonanimalshelter.org for more details. Purchase a framed Naked Clown photo or the full Naked Clown 12-month calendar. Remember, 100% of every dollar is donated and goes to fighting MS.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. I'm still Andrew Valentin, and this is still Tom McKinney. What are you doing? What do you need? No. Take those papers away. No more paper for Tom, ladies and gentlemen. No more paper for Tom. All right, Tom, you ready to get into the second half, man?
Banana.
I'm going to take that as a yes, and we're going to get the second half started, ladies and gentlemen, because, man, oh, man, was it a crazy night on Thursday. The NBA draft happened, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a sight for sore eyes for those that were able to watch it. It was obviously we saw Zion Williamson go number 1 overall, looking like he was trying to do a LeBron James impersonation of when he got drafted, followed by Ja Morant going number 2 overall to the Memphis Grizzlies, and RJ Barrett number 3 to the New York Knicks. And after that, it was just a flush of teams trying to make a deal in order to try and see if they could move down and get more draft picks. Now, Tom, I'll pose it to you, man. Obviously, you said you watched the NBA draft, and I want to ask you, who did you feel were the winners of the NBA draft? Who did you feel came out on top?
The Pelicans?
Yes. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that would definitely agree with you on that.
The Lakers lost.
Boy.
No one wants to play with LeBron. Like, everybody says, oh, I want to go play with LeBron. Yeah, when they finally play with LeBron, they realize, I don't ever touch the ball.
Very true.
This ain't my championship. This is all about LeBron, and if it's that way, then it's no way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, for those of you that are wondering, in one Anthony Davis trade,
which hasn't gone through yet, by the way. Let me reiterate that.
Yeah.
The new season of the NBA hasn't started, and it doesn't start until July 6th or something like that, which is dumb.
Yeah, the trade hasn't gone through yet. It's still a proposal, but as of right now, what the Lakers have gotten out of Anthony Davis, the New Orleans Pelicans have been able to acquire Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, the number 8 pick, which eventually went to Atlanta.
Number 4 pick.
Number 4 pick.
Dum-dum.
Went to Atlanta, and then the 8th overall pick coming from Atlanta, which turned into Jackson Hayes. Then you had the 17th overall pick, the 35th overall pick, and then they have the 2021 protected for pick in the top 8, the 2022 pick, if not in the top 20, if not in the top 8, they have the 2023 pick, and then they have the 2024 pick. So that's everything that New Orleans was able to get out of it. So they've got 3 potential players, 2 big-time starters that can leap out of the gym.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Don't leap out of the gym.
But no, yeah, Tom, you're right. I mean, the New Orleans Pelicans definitely came out of this looking like the top dogs. I mean, they got obviously the top player in the draft in Zion Williamson, who, for all intents and purposes, I think people are rushing to judgment on calling him a superstar right now. But I would contend that I think he has star status.
I'm going to laugh when he gets hurt.
Don't say that.
Well,
You wish him to be hurt.
No, not in that sense, but like everybody's gonna put so much pressure on him to win a championship right away.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be pushing his body too hard, and then he's gonna get hurt, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh."
Well, he's certainly not playing just 30 games now. Now he's playing a full 82-game season. So
That's what I'm saying.
It's
I'm not
gonna be a
like
lot.
I'm not gonna laugh like I laughed. It's the same way I did with Kopech.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm laughing at him. I'm laughing at. But yeah. Oh, by the way, quick update. It's gone now to like 14, 15 U.S. players from the U.S.
Really?
national development team
Oh, wow.
drafted. But no, this is more of
It's the setup situation of he was going to be the next great thing in the NBA.
yeah, and
then
that's the
he
same thing with
gets
Kopech.
hurt.
He could throw 130 miles an hour,
Right.
yet the organization still let him warm up throwing 110 miles an hour. You're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, certainly he's a strong young kid. He's been compared to Charles Barkley. Is he going to be on that level?
That means he'll never win a championship.
Is he going to be on that level? I mean, if he is, that's great. That's Hall
I mean,
of Fame
Shaq
status.
Jr. is going to make fun of him.
Sharif O'Neal.
Yeah. That's going to be funny. They're going to be on TNT when we're like long gone and stuff, and it's going to be like, man, shut up. Shut up, man.
We're going to be in old rocking chairs watching Sharif O'Neal and Zion Williamson argue with each other. And I can't even do a Zion accent because he's got no accent like Charles does.
Yeah, but Sharif should be sitting there like, man, look at all these rings, and you got none. You couldn't even bring any team to the promised land.
Except for he doesn't sound like his dad, though.
I know. I tried.
No, that's fine.
Pay for effort.
But no, yeah, I'll give you that. Other teams I would say won the draft, I would give it to the Atlanta Hawks. I think they did a great job getting DeAndre Hunter. I like that at 4 overall. He's been compared to like a younger.
I think the Phoenix Suns won.
Well, you really believe that?
I don't know.
Well, you know what?
I've watched so much
I'll give
draft.
you another A for effort on that.
I've watched so
I
many
know.
players get drafted. I don't know where I am right now.
And with the New Jersey Pelicans, they select Jack Williamson.
With the new Pelicans, Jersey Devils, Sharks, they select Capo Kikalani, Zion Williamson, George Paul
The third.
Jr. The third
Oh, yeah.
junior.
We've been watching a lot of draft, and it's been a lot. Trust me. Our eyes right now, if I had eyes, you would see that they're bloodshot. But yeah, no, I would give it to the Atlanta Hawks. DeAndre Hunter, I think, is a really good player. I think he's on the level of a young Kawhi Leonard, essentially. I also like the fact that they took Cam Reddish at 10 because even though we've knocked him down a peg a lot, I think the fact that he's going to have a guy like Trae Young to pass the ball to.
I'm going to laugh when he wins Rookie of the Year.
If he does.
Then can I laugh?
Yes,
Can I
you
laugh
can laugh.
long and hard?
Yes, you can.
And can I just go down to New Orleans, party on Bourbon Street, and be like, Cam Reddish was better than Zion, ha 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 ha.
I think a lot of people will join you on that.
And
certainly.
be Woody Woodpecker, be just,
Yes. But I think he's going to be good for like the catch and shoot. He's a 3-and-D kind of guy. So I think Atlanta's building a great young core down there, and I absolutely love it. I think Atlanta certainly came out as a winner in this draft. Unfortunately, I do have to say, though, as much as you say the Suns are a winner, I got to say they lost this one. I mean, they did terrible in this draft. As much as I like my UNC boys, I like Cameron Johnson. At 11 overall, it's just too high for that guy to go. I thought he was more of a lower draft pick. I didn't see him going that high at 11. But obviously Phoenix felt something strong about him, so maybe it'll pan out. But I just feel like it's a little too high for that guy, and they gave up a lot to Minnesota, which even Minnesota really didn't even come out too strong in the draft. I mean, they took Jared Culver, which okay, he was good and is a defensive and offensive player for Texas Tech, but he's such a on and off shooter. He's so streaky that it's tough. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, other losers, unfortunately, in this, I will say, have been
Chicago.
guys like, well, in terms of Chicago, Chris Dunn and Colin Sexton certainly turned out to be losers. As
No, just going with the new players we got. They're losers because now they got to deal with the front office.
well, yeah,
I didn't say it. You just said it.
I didn't say it, really.
I'm making you say it now.
Fine,
So they hate
yeah.
you.
Whatever.
And they copyright anything you use now.
Well, we've already been copyrighted by every league now, so congratulations to
NHL.
us.
Not the NHL.
No, we have been.
What?
We did.
I want to talk to Gary Bettman.
They got us. No.
Me and him have a few words to say.
But Chris Dunn and Colin Sexton, unfortunately, look like they might be getting bumped to a different position, although Chris Dunn might be on his way out at this point. Because obviously the Bulls took a point guard and they got Kobe White, ladies and gentlemen. Couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. Excited, elated. I
Question
don't,
for you.
whatever words I could use.
Question for you. Why
What's
didn't they
up?
give him one of those big foam Bulls hats
Because it was
for
a lot.
his hair?
Because it was a lot more fun to watch him put on the small cap.
Yeah, but it'd be
with all that
awesome to see
hair.
him put one of those cowboy foam hats on. And are they going to have to make the hole on his jersey bigger so it could fit over his
No,
head?
it'll fit normally. It's just gonna be like one of those things where, like, you I want to say you put like a gopher through a small hole, but that's a terrible analogy to use. So, when the head's too big, so it just kind of like pops through, that kind of thing. No,
Okay.
I never mind. So,
You lost me.
Yeah, I know I did. Although someone right now, Pete is all upset with me right now.
Pete.
PETA.
Oh. I'm so lost,
Yeah,
guys.
you're out of
He's
it.
confused me.
But no.
Bring Tyler back. He has better comebacks and
Oh,
stuff.
stop it. No, I
Learn from the best, man.
I love what he is. Don't worry. But I like the way that I like Chicago's draft.
Were we shocked, though? Was anybody really shocked
Well,
that they were taking
It
Kobe
wasn't a
White?
matter of being shocked.
Because but let me ask you this. If he wasn't there, who are we going to take? Cam Reddish, most likely. I guarantee we were taking Reddish at 7 if Kobe White wasn't there.
It's possible. It's possible. Well, I think if we wouldn't have gone with Kobe White, I think the other pick that would have probably happened would have been Jarrett Culver because they were so high on him as well. I mean, that was another guy that they were looking at. And it's not a matter of being surprised that Kobe White
But
was
like,
the
there's
pick
people
at
out there
7.
there's people out there that are upset with that pick because they're like, oh, we could have gotten someone better. You really couldn't. There was no one else out there.
No.
You have your best pick, and they obviously love this guy. I think he's going to be another Chris Dunn. He can't handle the ball right. He doesn't have ball handling skills. He can't shoot. The only thing he can do is pass. So what, you just going to let someone else carry the ball up, and then they're going to pass it to him, and then he can pass?
No, he's going to learn to be a point guard.
He's going to be a trash point guard, and we're going to blow even more.
Well, I love this kid. I love the pick. I think it's perfect for the
That's
Bulls.
your UNC bias.
Well,
Where's the Notre Dame love?
You had no players. You guys just
I know.
stunk.
We had a terrible season.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I honestly, look, for everybody that's complaining about this pick, look, there's always going to be people complaining about whatever pick, right? There's people complaining about the fact that we didn't take a defenseman for the Blackhawks, and then people are going to complain the fact that we didn't take Cam Reddish at
We didn't
7.
take Zion Williamson.
Yeah, that's all this is. Everybody's just upset that they didn't get the first 2 picks in the draft. And, and it's, look, you got to deal with what you were
At least the
dealt.
Blackhawks were close.
So, I mean, look, the Bulls got their point guard. They needed a point guard. I think they've got a great kid who's big at 6'5", 185. He's got great handling skills. He's got a great basketball IQ. He shoots the ball very well. He's a playmaker. His assist needs to get better. I think he needs to get better with the decision-making at points and times, but I like the kid. I like the pick. I think he can really help the Bulls get stronger as long as this roster stays intact.
Trade them all. Trade them all.
I think not only that, but then you go into the second round and you get a kid like Daniel Gafford, who's a defensive presence again. So now you've got a great backup center who I think is going to really transition well and going to be a good guy coming off the bench.
It's up to 16 now.
It's up to 16 now?
Yeah, for the U.S. national
That's
team
insane.
development program.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Well, good job on the USA developmental
There's
team.
still 4 more players left on that.
Well, we'll see if they get taken. I mean, it's a great day for you to be a USA developmental player for sure.
Yeah, it is.
But no, I love the Chicago pick. I can't wait to see this kid in a Bulls uniform. I think he's going to be
In a Windy
fantastic
City
for
Bulls
this.
uniform.
Stop it. But I think he's going to be fantastic. I really like him. And, as for something now with Cleveland and stuff for Darius Garland, I think it'll work out for them too. So good kudos to both the teams that took point guards. And obviously Memphis got a big win too in the draft. I'm going to give it to them as well. Ja Morant, I think, is going to be a beast of a player. He's already got the best story in the draft. Coming from nowhere and being a 0-star recruit to being the number 2 player in the draft, it's a heck of a way to go. And a guy like that can really lead you places. And you also get Brandon Clark from Gonzaga, another great player.
By the way, here are the Devils draft picks just real quick. Because they just popped up.
Yeah.
So they drafted Jack Hughes, Nikita Okotokok, Daniel Musel, Garimi Clark, Michael Vorcevic, Tice Thompson, Case McCarthy, Cole Brady. Wow, those are easy ones.
Yeah.
Arseny Gerstyuk and Patrick Mahoney. Now, Hughes, Case McCarthy, and Patrick Mahoney are all members of the U.S. National Team Development Program.
Nice. Yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this USA Developmental Program, it's really built up this team.
If we wait, then 3 picks is the Blackhawks at 167. So we have a few minutes to wait.
Well, yeah. We're still going here with the NBA draft. But unfortunately, I also have to say too for another loss that happened in this draft.
Is it the Lakers? Can it please be the Lakers?
The Lakers definitely lost this.
Oh,
woohoo!
Boo.
They lost. Look, they lost the NBA. They lost the NBA draft. They lost everything this year.
They lost it last year. That's when it all started.
This whole thing has just been a nightmare for the Lakers, and I don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to rebound from this because now they're not going to do Anthony Davis's deal because they want to save $32 million for cap space to try and get another superstar, which I think is ridiculous because then you're going to have to surround the team with cheap bench players coming from free agency that, sure, they could probably perform, but you're going to bank on LeBron, Anthony Davis, and maybe another superstar coming in to save the franchise.
Who's going to go there?
There's no saving this franchise at this point. Nobody wants to deal with Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss. Nobody wants to deal with LeBron James and all his stuff.
Yeah, because LeBron James ruins teams. LeBron James ruins teams. He'll never be Jordan. So stop trying to compare him. Jesus.
I mean, he's trying to do it in the business world, that's for sure.
Kawhi Leonard has a better record in the finals than he does. Dang.
He did take a championship in his first year, so with a team, so that he's got that over him. But another loser in this draft, unfortunately, I got to say, even though he did get drafted still, it's the son of Manute Bol, which was Bol. He felt.
I sort of wanted the Bulls to get him. I was so ready to get a Bol jersey.
There was a lot of writers that were like, you know what, go for the kid Bol. And I'm like, no, please, no.
Go for the kid Bol. I was ready to go buy my Bol but
you just wanted a Bol on the back of a jersey.
Because would he go Bol or would it just be BOL?
It'd just be BOL.
Why wouldn't you go Bol? You could fit it. Just do the whole name.
Or just put one bowl on the front and one bowl on the back.
Down.
No, unfortunately, I have.
Take the S out and be Bowl. You just put BULL, and then on the back would it be actually his actual name?
The Bulls Bowl.
No, just Bowl.
Oh.
But it's spelled BUL.
Yeah.
L. I forgot the other L. But no S. And then on the back it would be BOL.
Oh my God. I guess that could work. But he unfortunately fell out of the first round. A lot of people said he almost did fall out of the draft, unfortunately. But luckily he got picked up with the 44th pick overall by Denver, which belonged to, I forget who else it belonged to, but it eventually went to Denver.
It probably belonged to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then
it was something
Houston
like that.
Rockets, and then the Golden State Warriors.
So he did get drafted, and he's going to a good NBA team in the Denver Nuggets. I think it's a good pick. This kid is strong, lengthy, can shoot from the outside. I think he's a really talented kid. Obviously, there's concerns, though, about his work ethic. Can he stay healthy because of the fact that he had the broken foot? And, as much as, his father's certainly a legend in the game, tied for the tallest player in NBA history at 7'7" was Manute Bol, his father, the late great Manute Bol, mind you. Bol certainly.
When did he pass away?
He passed away, and I believe it was 2010. I think it was.
We took a goalie.
We took a goalie.
We took a goalie.
Okay. Who did we take? If you can give us the update on the Blackhawks pick.
We took Dominic Bessie.
Want to get closer on the mic to say that?
Oh, yeah, my bad. We took Dominic Bessie.
There you go. Dominic Bassi, goaltender. Welcome to the Chicago
Oh, and by
Blackhawks.
the way, now there's 17
17?
for the U.S.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another pick for the USA developmental team and a goaltender for the Blackhawks. Way to go. Get him one in
We'll
the
see
late
him
round.
in 5 years.
Something like that.
I'm sorry, Dominic. But it's the truth.
Yeah, but I will say this. Boston, I feel like, came out as a strong winner in this draft, too, by an inch. They did get Carson Edwards. What?
Remember what Robert De Niro told us?
What?
Every inch counts.
Every inch counts, yeah. It does. But they got Carson Edwards in the second round from, excuse me, from Purdue. And they also were able to sign the tallest player in this draft off a free agent rookie contract that will be sending him to the G League. It is Taco Fall. So they
I wanted Taco Falls. I really did
I really did too. But yes, Taco Fall will be going to the G League team for the Boston Celtics.
Why?
Well, because he needs a little bit more development, they said.
Then send him back to college.
Well, he could have. He actually could have gone back to college since he went undrafted. Well, he actually couldn't. He was a senior. But if he was younger, he could have gone back to college.
I'm pretty sure he could have gone back. He probably had eligibility.
Maybe. Who knows? But no, Taco Fall getting signed by the Boston Celtics. Obviously, they also acquired Williams from Tennessee, a great power forward. I feel, for all the stuff that's happening with them right now, they've lost Al Horford. They've lost Kyrie Irving and stuff. There's a lot of questions around the Boston Celtics. I think these picks could certainly come out and be very strong for them. I don't know if they're going to be in contention for the championship next year.
Who, Boston?
Boston's
winning the championship next year, guys.
Well, the last time you said that, they did go to the playoffs. So, I mean, and they did take a deep run into it. So
Then they ran up against Giannis.
yes, they did. But obviously, we'll see what happens there. I mean, look, this year for the NBA draft and the NHL draft, I mean, it was interesting. For the NBA draft, you had the most trades that have ever happened in.
No. Proposed trades. Say it right. Proposed trades.
Currently the most proposed trades, but as soon as everything goes into effect, it'll be the most trades that have ever happened on a draft night in the history of the NBA. I mean, we had more swaps than ever before, and I think that goes to say that there are a lot
Can I
of.
just ask the NBA to get their shit together at this point?
It's impossible.
Like, God. And we all thought the NFL was bad.
Oh, yeah, I mean, trust me, things could be a whole lot worse. Trust me, they could get a whole lot worse. They could have a general. They could have a commissioner that doesn't know what he's talking about half the time.
All right, I want you to try to pronounce this.
What do you want me? Oh my God! You got me out. All right, so Tom's having me try to announce one of the Montreal Canadiens draft picks in the sixth round. In the sixth round, the Montreal Canadiens took Arsen Kisamutdinov. I probably butchered the heck out of that name.
I sort of want to bring Jake in here. I want to see if he can announce it. Come on, Jake. Come on, you gotta try it.
Yeah, I would not take that on at all.
Kisamutdinov.
All right, no, but this week has been, I've had fun with it. I mean, this has been a very fun week to talk about the NHL draft, which, we kind of had a chance last year to kind of talk about a little bit what we never really poured into it. This year, though, got a chance to really know a lot of these kids, and there's a lot of exciting talent in the NHL draft this year. NBA draft, there's a lot of exciting talent there as well. Saw a lot of big trades. This is going to be this coming year for the NHL and NBA. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. You've got a lot of talent, a lot of young kids, a lot of promising future is ahead of us with these young guys, and I'm really excited for it. I don't know how you're feeling, Tom. Are you excited for it?
Is it hockey season yet?
Not yet, man. You got 110 days or so
I
to
don't
go?
know. When's my draft? I got my fantasy draft coming up too.
Yeah, I don't know about, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it here for us at X-Bomb Sports.
Going home and sleeping, guys. I'm really going home.
Well, before we go home and go to sleep, or you go home and go to sleep, Tom, Mr. Lucky Pants there.
Oh, boo!
I gotta go to work, man.
That's your fault. You could come work with me and have weekends off, but no.
Yeah, but then I gotta work the same hours too. I thought, and then I gotta do all that crazy stuff.
No.
Oh, okay.
You could work from like.
Yeah, but I don't like doing manual labor. I like. All right, Tom, where can they find you, man?
McLovin6193 on Instagram and Twitter.
There you go.
And where I just talk sports.
Yes, absolutely. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at @TheFluffyGuru. Want to find me on Instagram? I am the Boom Crew Captain as well. Also, too, guys, make sure to go follow us on our Facebook page, X-Bomb Sports, Team X-Bombs, which Tom didn't know that.
I didn't realize you changed it. It's not
No,
always
it's not
been
changed. That's what it's always been.
on Facebook.
Yes.
No.
It has always been that. I promise you, it has always been that.
No, it hasn't. No,
It
I don't want
has.
what's on my mind.
It
right
has
now.
been. You're just tired. That's all this is. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes, if you guys want to follow us on our Facebook page, make sure to go like us there. You can see the old videos up there. We've got them all archived up and everything for seasons 1 and seasons 2.
Hey, how come
And
we're closed now? We're open from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
What are you talking? Well, because I haven't said it for the.
We're
Saturday.
closed. We're closed Sunday through
We're not
Monday.
a.
We're closed Sunday through
We're not
Tuesday.
Jawasco.
We're open Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30. We're closed Thursday and Friday, and we're open Saturday 2:30 to 3:30. So yeah, we just closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
So we're closing out now. What are you doing? All right.
I didn't realize that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow us on Twitter at XBombSports on our Twitter page, you can follow us there where we're always reposting the shows and posting some polls. Right now, too, we have some polls up right now as well if you guys want to go vote on them. What would you grade the NBA draft as for this year? What would you grade the NHL draft for this year? They're up on our Twitter page. Make sure to go vote there. And also comment who you think the winners and the losers of the draft were. And also comment down below here on our YouTube page, X-Bomb Productions. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notifications. We're starting to get a little bit of fluctuation now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the 14 subscribers we have now.
Woo! I'm one of them now.
Don't say that out loud. Thank you all so much, though, for helping us out. We're starting to... I knew you were going to do that, Jesus. We really appreciate it. It's been a long drive, but we've finally gotten to this point. We're now starting to catch momentum, and thank you to all the leagues for always copywriting us. And also, too, guys, make sure to go catch the Respawn Cast. Every Tuesday and Friday, they're streaming on twitch.tv. Kevin Cat and Shaq. Make sure to give them some love. Go check them out. They do some great stuff. And also, too, don't forget, Jake Bradley, our producer back there. Tyler Prickett, one of the guys that's usually up here on this grand stage. They talk putting up points on sportstownchicago.com. What?
Trash!
Trash. God. Make sure to go check them out, sportstownchicago.com. Find them on the Facebook page where they live stream as well. We were just on their show today. We did a fantastic job, I have to say, all 4 of us. We had a lot of fun. It was very interesting. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys next week where we're going to be talking about God who knows what. But we'll be back here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. So much love and peace out, boom.